Dear children, I welcome you to the fourth session, and this is also the last session of chapter 8, Strings and String Manipulations in Python. First, I will teach you the replace function. Look at this example. Name is equal to Sheila. Now, suppose I want the output as Leela by using the replace function. I will take a print statement, and within the print statement, first I will write the string object name dot replace with the parenthesis. Here name is the string object dot and replace is the function. So this is the syntax which should be followed to use the replace function. And look at the array. In this string object name, in the string Sheila, I want to replace SH with the character L. So in the replace function, I will give two parameters. First is going to be the string SH, and the second parameter is going to be the string L. SH is the substring, and L is the string with which the substring should be replaced. So L can be called as the new string. So this replace function will replace the string SH with another string L, so that this print statement will give the output as Leela. After using the replace function, if I give this statement print name, what do you think will be the output? Will the replace function replace SH with L in the array? Do you remember the fact a string is immutable? What is the meaning of immutable? Unchangeable. So whatever function you apply to the string object, it will not affect the original string. Here the original string is Sheila, which is stored in name. So this string will remain to be Sheila. So print name will give the output as Sheila only. I will give you another example. Now I have taken the string noodle in the string object S. S is equal to noodle. So if I want to get the output as needle using the replace function, so print, and within the print statement, S is the string object, so S dot replace, and within parentheses you should give two parameters. The first parameter is going to be the letter O, and I want O to be replaced with E. So the second parameter is going to be E, so that each and every O in the string object S will be replaced with the letter E. Suppose I give print S, what will be the output? It will be noodle, the original string noodle, because of the fact that a string is immutable. Next we will see two operators, in and not in. Look at this example. I have taken the vowels in lowercase as a string and stored in S. S is equal to A-E-I-O-U. Now I am going to get the input of a letter. So letter is equal to input, enter a letter. Then I am going to use the if else statement. If letter in yes colon print vowel, else colon print not a vowel. In the if statement, letter in yes, that is the condition, if condition. And in this condition, I have used the in operator. Letter in yes. Here, in is an operator. It's a keyword which is an operator. So let us see what happens when I run this snippet. So the first statement would be the input statement which will be executed. So in the output, you will see the prompt string, enter a letter. And the cursor will be waiting here for you to give an input. So if I give the input as U, so this letter U, this input U will be stored in the variable letter. So here in the if statement, if letter in yes, letter is having the value U, N, yes is having the string AEIOU. So look at the condition. If letter in yes, that is if U, N, AEIOU, whether U is present in AEIOU, yes, it is present. So this condition, letter in yes, this condition will now give the result as true. So if true, if the condition is true, then the print statement, print vowel, will execute. So you will get the output as vowel. I will run the same snippet again. Now this time, let me give the input as the letter D. So in the if statement, if letter in yes, now the value of letter is D and the yes has the value AEIOU. So D in AEIOU, that is the condition which is checked now. So D is not present in AEIOU. So this condition, letter in yes, will give false. So the control will pass to the else part and it will do this print statement which is in the else part. Print not a vowel. So therefore the output will be not a vowel. So here now I have given you an example for the in operator. In the same manner, you can use the not in operator also. Next, we will move on to the next topic, which is string formatting. So here I have taken two variables, name is equal to Raja and age is equal to 12. Suppose I want the output, Raja is 12 years old. So in this output, Raja and 12, they are the data items. Raja is in the variable name and 12 is in the variable age. Now I have to write a print statement in order to get this output. So take the print statement. The usual way of using the print statement is by separating each item by comma. So first I will give the variable name because it contains the value Raja. Next is the string yes. Again variable age because we need 12 to be printed there. And then at last you give the string years old. So name, comma, is, comma, age, comma, years old. So this is the normal syntax of a print function. Print variable, comma, string, comma, variable, comma, string. Next, I will show you how to get the same output by using the format function. So take the print statement, and within the print statement, first you place a string. So I put a pair of single quotes in which I'm going to give the string, followed by dot format function, dot format with the parenthesis. So the format function follows this syntax, string dot format function. So within the quotes, first I will place a pair of set brackets, yes, again a pair of set brackets, and then years old. These pairs of set brackets are called as placeholders or replacement fields. So since there are two placeholders in the string, I have to give two parameters in the format function. So here within the parenthesis of the format function, I place a comma, and for the first parameter I give the variable name, and as a second parameter I give age. The value which is in name will be replaced in the first placeholder, and the value in age will be replaced in the second placeholder. So this is how the format function is written. So you have to use this syntax, string dot format function. Okay, next I will show you a simpler version of the same format function. Okay, now take the print statement, and within that you place a string. So I will take a pair of single quotes like this, and within this string, as usual, you place the placeholders. So first placeholder, yes, and then again another placeholder, years old. And then instead of dot format name comma age, instead of this part, you just write the letter F in front of the string. And then these two variables, name and age, you just fill inside the placeholder, like this, name in the first placeholder, age in the second placeholder. So the first print statement follows the syntax string dot format, and the second print statement follows the syntax F string. In the normal print statement, we have to separate each item by comma, but here by using the format function, you can see that the comma is avoided. Okay, so this is a good way in which you can format your strings. So that is the topic, string formatting. I will show you yet another way in which you can format your output. That is by using the formatting operator, which is percentage symbol. So let me take a print statement, and within that, as usual, you place a string. So I put a pair of single quotes followed by percentage and then parenthesis. So the syntax to be followed here is string, percentage symbol, and the parenthesis. So within the quotes, I give some replacement fields. First one is the percentage yes, followed by is, percentage D, and then years old. So within the string, this percentage yes and percentage D, they are called as formatting characters. And here inside the parenthesis, since there are two formatting characters here, I have to place, the first is the variable name and second is the variable age, so that the value in name will be substituted here in the place of %s, and the value in age will be substituted in %d. Now I will tell you the meaning of %s. Why I have used this formatting character here? Because here I want the value Raja to be substituted in the place of this %s. And since Raja is a string, then I have to use the formatting character %s. And here in %d, I want the value 12. And 12 is a decimal integer. So that is why I have used %d. So when you are using this type of formatting, using the formatting characters, you should have knowledge of the correct character to be used along with the percentage sign. %s, %d, %f, %o, %x. Like that, there are several formatting characters and you should know which one to use where. So here I am using %s because here I want in the output the string Raja. Since Raja is a string, %s. And here I want 12. Since 12 is a decimal integer, you should give %d. Let us see another example. Now I have taken the variable AVG, average, to have the value 83.833333. Okay, suppose I want to get the output. Raja has scored 83.83333. The data items Raja and 83.8333, they are in the variables name and average, AVG. Now using this syntax, string, percentage, and then parenthesis, using this syntax, I will write the print statement. So within the print statement, you take a string. So I put a pair of single quotes followed by the percentage symbol and then the parenthesis. First I want in the output Raja, so which is a string. So here I will write %s, has scored. Now I want this value, is it not, which is in AVG. You look at this value, it is a float value. So corresponding to that, I should use the formatting character %f. So in the previous example, I used %d because that 12 was a decimal integer. So here this value which I want to print is a float value. So I have to use the formatting character as %f. So within this string, %s has scored %f. %s and %f are the formatting characters. And after the percentage symbol, within the parenthesis, you place a comma and now you fill the variables which corresponds to these two formatting characters. So for %s, the variable is name, and for %f, the variable is AVG, average. Okay, now I will show you another example. Suppose I want to get the output as Raja has scored 83.83. But the value stored in average has totally 6 decimal places. But in the output, I want only 2 decimal places. So this formatting character, %f, I have to slightly modify it. So now I am giving it as %0.2f. So the 0.2 indicates the field width or the width of the decimal places. So how many decimal places I want in the output? So here in the output I want 2 decimal places after the point, after the decimal point, 8, 3. So here I am giving in the percentage F, percentage 0.2 F. What if I give 0.1 F? So you can see the output will be 83.8 because I want the output to have only 1 decimal place. I am mentioning it by giving percentage 0.1 F. Okay, look at this. Suppose I take another value for average. AVG is equal to 83.666667. Okay, and if I give in the string percentage 0.1 F, what would be the output? So look at this. Raja has scored 83.7. See, I am asking for 1 decimal place by giving percentage 0.1 F. So 1 decimal place means 83.6. But you can see here from the output, you get a rounded value. 83.7. It is the rounded value for 1 decimal place. By using the percentage formatting operator, you can get rounded values also as the output. Here are some of the frequently used formatting characters. For string, percentage %S. For decimal integer, percentage %D. For a float number, percentage %F. For character, percentage %C. For octal integer, percentage %O. Hexadecimal integer, percentage %X. X can be in lowercase or uppercase. For a float number in exponential notation, use percentage %E. E can be in lowercase or uppercase. We have come to the end of this session. So in this session, you learned replace function, in and not in operators, string formatting. In string formatting, you learned the format function and also the formatting operator percentage. That's all in this session. Thank you, children.